Hello everyone, I'm Vidhu Bala. So my collection Mutalam is inspired from the Kiradi civilization, which dates back to 6th century BCE. This is a early civilization settlement in Tamil Nadu. I wanted to take out the elements of Kiradi and the essence of Kiradi and then represent it in a contemporary fashion collection of women's wear. There are a lot of elements that I had to study and go through. There were a lot of elements that I could take the essence of Kiradi from, and they include the brick architecture, the artifacts, their dyeing processes, the Tamil Brahmi script from a lot of pot sheds, and also all these game pieces. By echoing the craftsmanship, the heritage identity and the cultural identity, this collection reflects the design, intellect and artistry of our ancient ancestors. So yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Niveta. Today I'll be presenting my graduation collection, Reframe 70s, a semi-formal collection inspired by the spirit of 70s. Reframe 70s is more than just a fashion collection, it is a dialogue between past and the present. The 1970s was a decade defined by freedom, individuality and self-expression. Young people challenged convenience through fashion, music and culture. Similarly, today's generation express their identity through technology, digital culture and modern lifestyle. The core concept behind the Reframe 70s is modern heritage. Through this project, I explored how fashion can bridge generations through storyline, craftsmanship, culture and emotion. It allowed me to experiment creatively and technically while strengthening my skills as a designer. Now, let's look at my collection. Thank you.
is Devdarshini. Strength and vulnerability are often viewed as opposing qualities. However, I believe they are equally important aspects of human identity that coexist in balance. This belief became the foundation of my project Equinox, inspired by the philosophy of harmony of opposites. The concept ethereal balance explores emotional authenticity and personal freedom, particularly for women navigating societal expectations of perfection. Society often associates strength with control, resilience, and emotional resistance, while vulnerability is frequently perceived as weakness. Through my research, I found that vulnerability actually requires courage, self-awareness, and inner strength. This philosophy was translated into fashion through contrasting design elements such as structure and fluidity, angular and curved forms, fitted and volume silhouettes. Developed within the category of contemporary minimalism, the collection reflects balance, confidence, and individuality through refined silhouettes and the harmonious integration of contrasting elements. Welcome to the world of Equinox.
Hello everyone and thank you for being here. My name is Harini and I'm delighted to present my collection today. My collection is inspired by the natural process of fading, weathering and transformation. Rather than focusing on change as something negative, I explored how nature evolves over time and develops a different kind of beauty. I drew inspiration from leaves gradually losing their color, flowers becoming more delicate as they dry, and tree barks gaining rich texture through exposure to the elements. These transformations became the foundation of my design process, and through a palette of soft neutrals, muted earth tones, and faded botanical hues, I aim to capture the beauty that emerges through aging and endurance.
This collection celebrates imperfection, natural wear, and unique marks left by time. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the collection.
Hello all, I'm Leela. For my grad project, I designed zero waste and size adaptable preteen partywear for girls that can also be worn by their mothers. This project is inspired by time folding theory, which explores the connection between different moments in time. I applied this concept into fashion by creating garments that can be shared across generations, reflecting the bond between a mother and daughter, while also extending the lifespan of the garments. Throughout this project, I explored different methods and techniques, and I used them in my designs, such as zero waste cutting method, size adjustable techniques, reversible methods, transformable, and also the modeler fashion. These techniques helped me to create garments that are not only beautiful but also versatile, functional, and sustainable. The entire design process, from research to garment constructions, challenged me to think differently. The main aim of my project is to increase the lifespan of the kids' garments and also to reduce the fabric waste, which usually happens while constructing the garments. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you enjoy exploring my collection and the ideas behind it. Thank you.
Harshini Priya. I'm here to present my graduation collection. So, Crafted for Rally is a badminton sportswear collection inspired by Indian art forms Kasuti and Tikoli. The idea for this collection came from my dissertation research on Indian aesthetics in sportswear, where I noticed the lack of Indian prints and artistic influences in the global sportswear market. This project is an experimental take on bringing traditional Indian art forms into modern sportswear by reinterpreting the motifs and visual elements of Kasuti and Tikoli into contemporary graphics. I aim to preserve their essence while making them relevant for today's athletes. The collection includes 2 unisex and 4 women's wear garments featuring ergonomic cuts and functional silhouettes and performance-focused designs. Through Crafted for Rally, I wanted to show how Indian heritage can be modernized and celebrated through sportswear in a fresh and meaningful way. So take a look at the collection and explore how Indian tradition and sport come together through these designs.
Hi, I am Kubera. My collection explores the future of fashion through the concept of physical intelligence. As our lifestyle becomes increasingly dynamic, unpredictable, and technology driven, I believe clothing should evolve beyond being a passive layer of the body and become an adaptive system. Physical intelligence, in the context of my project, refers to the ability of a garment to adapt, transform, and perform through its material properties. The collection investigates how clothing can become more responsive through expandable, retractable, and adjustable elements inspired by everyday mechanical systems. Ultimately, this collection suggests that the future of fashion lies not only in smart technologies, but also in understanding how intelligence can already exist within material structures and movement. It reimagines clothing as an adaptive interface between the human body and the future environment.
Hi, I'm Lingeshwaran and this is Nagori, my graduation collection. Inspired by the whale and the bird, the collection explores the connection between two worlds that can never truly meet, the sky and the sea. Through sustainable material, hand-spun and hand-woven organic cotton and natural indigo dyes, I translate themes of contrast, movement and coexistence into a contemporary unisex collection influenced by Japanese aesthetics and silhouettes. Nagori is about emotion that remains even after movement has passed, celebrating both craftsmanship and conscious designs. The collection combines traditional textile practice with minimal Japanese aesthetics. In the same way, I hope Nagori leaves a lasting impression and reminds you memory long after this moment has passed. Welcome to Nagori.
Hello everyone, I am Ashmita. Today I am presenting my semi-formal women's wear collection based on the concept of shape mapping. The idea behind this project came from my interest in understanding how fashion can create visual balance for different body types. To explore this, I selected 5 different female body types and studied their natural body proportion. I then used 3 basic geometric shapes, square, circle and triangle, to map and visually balance each body shapes. These geometric forms became the foundation for my garment silhouettes and design details. I used color blocking technique to either draw attention to specific areas or divert attention from others depending on the body types. This collection is explored on how design can help create confidence and visual balance for the wearer. Thank you.
Rochana Prabhakaran. My collection, The Forgotten Earth, is inspired by the idea that as technology becomes a bigger part of our lives, we are slowly losing a connection with the nature and traditional craft practices. So I wanted this collection to be a reminder to heal and reconnect with nature. So instead of relying on modern surface techniques, I explored on a process like natural dyeing and a traditional art called dabu printing, also known as mud resist printing. Every stage of this collection was a hands-on experience from fabric sourcing, dye preparation, print development and garment construction. Through this, I learned the value of patience, sustainability and slow craftsmanship. This collection is a reminder to respect and reconnect with nature and appreciate the beauty of handmade processes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Darius, here to present my collection Evig Hayden. Evig Hayden is a convertible bridal collection inspired by intricate patterns of Celtic knots. The name Evig Hayden, meaning eternity, reflects the collection's core idea of everlasting love and timeless designs. The collection features 6 garments designed to address the issue of one-time use bridal wear. By incorporating convertible elements, each piece can be adapted and restyled for future occasions, allowing the garments to remain relevant beyond the wedding day. The endless loops of Celtic knots symbolizes continuity and longevity, which align with the collection's focus on creating bridal wear that is both meaningful and sustainable. Through Evig Hayden, I aim to offer brides a balance of elegance, versatility and lasting value. Now take a look at the collection and discover how the concept of eternity has been translated into a sustainable and adaptable bridal wear.
Welcome everyone, I am Pavitra. Today I am proud to introduce my Spring Summer 2027, a ready-to-wear collection of contemporary kurtis inspired by the timeless architecture and spiritual lessons of the historic Kahileshwar temple. As you can see from my mood board, the core of this collection is steeped in devotion, ritual, and tranquility. We have captured the spirit of sacred mandalas, the warmth of offering marigolds, and the deep stillness of meditation into modern design language. The foundational philosophy of this collection rests on a beautiful cosmic truth. While our modern world is in a state of constant motion, noise, and rapid change, the divine remains a fixed, unmoving reality. We have brought this contrast to life by transforming the delicate curves, structural silhouettes, and intricate motifs of the temple into simplified, elegant, and wearable forms of the everyday woman. This is a collection made to be cherished, built to last, and designed to bring a piece of eternal tranquility into our fast-paced daily lives. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Amrita Vagin. Today I am presenting my graduation collection Neidal. This collection very personal to me because it is inspired by my native place Nagapattinam and the coastal communities who are a part of my everyday surroundings. Neidal is inspired the deep connection with the sea. The word Neidal comes from Sangam literature and represents the coastal landscape, the ocean and the lives of fishing communities. During my research, I realized that the sea is not just part of nature, but a source of identity and livelihood. The strength, traditions, and everyday experience become their core inspiration. Those elements of coastal communities are translated through draping, gathered silhouettes, handmade knots, rope details, and surface texture. Neither is not just a fashion collection, it is a tribute to my people. Thank you for listening and I hope you enjoy my collection.
Sriha. Theri isn't just a collection, it's a love letter to my hometown, Tuticorin, wrapped in SS27 Indo-Western streetwear. Most people know Tuticorin as Port City, but there is so much more beneath the surface. Once celebrated as the Pearl City for its thriving pearl fixing heritage, Tuticorin carries stories that are slowly fading away. The elegance of flamingos, the hidden treasures of pearl fishing, and the timeless appeal of coastal heritage all coming together one visual story. For the fabrics, I paired satin and linen to create a balance between flow and structure. Satin echoes the fluid movement of flamingos while the linen reflects the strength and geometry of architecture. The details tells the story. Welcome to Theri, a contemporary Indo-Western streetwear collection where the heritage meets modernity, transforming Tuticorin coastal legacy into fashion that's bold, expressive, and unforgettable.
Hi, I'm Lekya. Welcome to the world of Bhumalatham, where every stitch tells a story and every silhouette comes to life. My SS27 ethnic wear collection takes inspiration from Bhumalatham, Tamil Nadu's vibrant traditional puppet theatre, a world filled with colorful characters, dramatic performance, and captivating storytelling. Rather than dressing the puppets, I imagine what will happen if the puppets directly come to the stage into a contemporary fashion. Their expression movements, laid costumes, and playful energy became the foundation of my collection. Following the silhouettes, energetic volumes, and layered constructions increases the rhythm and motion of the dancing puppets, bringing the sense of them into every garment. Let's step into the world of Bhumalatham, where every garment performs into its own story. Thank you.